Hey guys, and welcome to another streaming video. Now today's video is top 8 Mario Kart games. So there's been a lot of solid games, so today I'm going to pretty much rank them as I'm carrying Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe as the same game because they pretty much are. Yeah, so that's, don't get offended by that, but it's true. Hope you guys like that little intro. It actually takes, those intros take a while to make, so hope you like them. Yeah, without further ado, let's just get into top 8 Mario Kart games. Let's go. Now at number 8 is Superamerica. My least favourite Mario Kart game has to be the first one. Now don't get me wrong, this game was amazing for its time, but really hasn't aged well since then. The controls are quite slippery and it's really hard to drift and stay in control over tight turns, and trust me, there are a lot of them. This game isn't too dull for colour, apart from the Mario circuit tracks, which are pretty much all the same. I find it really annoying that they split the screen in half though. Yeah, the bottom half is quite cool, but you should be able to access it just through like a separate button or something, so at least you get a full screen to work with. Overall, this game was good for its generation, but just hasn't aged well enough, so it deserves a spot in my opinion. Now at number 7 is Mario Kart Super Circuit. Now this game is actually really underrated in my opinion. It's got some really harsh criticism, and many people see it as the worst ever, but overall, I think it's a solid game. The turning in this game feels much tighter than Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64, and it was definitely much more colourful than the previous ones. It was home to some really solid tracks like Riven Road, Cheeseland and Sunset Wilds, tracks that will be remembered forever, although to be honest all the others were pretty trash. Until MK8D, this game had the most tracks ever, although half of them were just remakes from Super Mario Kart, but they did make them slightly better. And I guess you could say this game was the first to include retro tracks, so overall, it wasn't too bad. Now at number 6 is Mario Kart 64. Now some people think that this game deserves to be much higher on the list, mainly for nostalgia reasons, but I didn't grow up playing this game, I've only played it recently, and don't get me wrong, I think it's a really fun title, with all the new tracks, and the game finally looking fully 3D. They put so much more detail into everything in this game. It's also one of the more challenging titles, with a lot of courses including very narrow paths, which if you fall down, you're pretty likely to come back last, because for some reason Lakitu is really slow, and don't ask me why. Although, I'm really not a big fan of the turning and drifting in this game. It just makes it much more challenging, which I guess could be a good thing, and more fun when playing with friends. Also, this game holds on to the best battle modes ever. With Block 4, it's automatically great. Now number 5 is Mario Kart 7. So this game was actually pretty impressive. The graphics were really good, especially for a handheld. So they added 2 really exciting new features to this game, gliding and the ability to race underwater. It's very rare that you get 2 really cool new features in the same title. Gliding across the track is so exhilarating, and going underwater is a completely new experience for a Mario Kart game. This game is also home to without doubt the best Rainbow Road ever. Going through what seems like a normal Rainbow Road, but being greeted with loads of planets, really reminds you that you are literally driving on a Rainbow Road in space. Also, this game had a great character roster, other than of course Waluigi not being included. I have no idea why this guy keeps on getting rejected. It's weird. I mean, Queen Bee is quite a strange choice, but it's cool to see them experiment. And number 4 is Mario Kart Double Dash. I mean, this game is a classic. If you thought Queen Bee was Nintendo experimenting, then for this game, Nintendo was just full of scientists. Get it? Because they experiment? Okay, anyway. Having 2 drivers in the same car just made it much more exciting and chaotic. For example, a track like Baby Park is actually really bad, but because it was in this game, it was just made to be much more exciting. Whereas, in the Mario Kart DS remake, it was really plain because that game isn't as crazy. It also made for a much more fun multiplayer experience, where you could either work with your friends or against them. It really gave a fun twist to the Mario Kart franchise. And number 3 is Mario Kart Wii. This is definitely one of the best selling Mario Kart games of all time, and there's some good reasons why. And it's not just because the Wii was so popular, although that probably is a big reason to be honest. And obviously, if it's a Wii game, it had to include motion controls. and that was a key feature of the game. And overall, they weren't too bad. They were actually usable. It made the whole experience with friends much more exciting. Although, if you're trying to unlock some characters or just playing online, I would recommend either the Pro Controller or Nunchuck. The graphics are absolutely incredible for the time, and there were some really cool new tracks, as well as some retro tracks that have been improved massively. The online mode was so unique as well, and much better than anything we'd had before. It made it much more fun. And number 2 is Mario Kart 8 / Deluxe. Now, I'm combining these two together just plainly because they're pretty much the exact same. Well, when you add the DLC to MK8 game they are. But yeah, let me just start off by saying this game is beautiful. All the bright colours making it really stand out. The best example for this is the N64 Rainbow Road remake. Like, the detail they went into was incredible. So overall, this game has 3 Rainbow Roads, the most ever. It's really cool. And of course, the character star. I know there's a few really lazy ones like Pink God Peach and Snooki Mario, but there's so much other characters that it almost just doesn't matter. Now I know the MK8 battle mode was pretty awful, but the Deluxe one was one of the best ever, with all the fun modes back like Shine Thief and Balloon Battle. There's some great new battle tracks to play them on as well, makes it a great time. There is also such a large amount of tracks that it makes the game always feel fresh and exciting, and it's likely that there's also something new for you to discover, due to the amount of detail out in this game. Now at number 1 is Mario Kart DS. Now this may be a surprise to you, as not many people see it as the best, but my favourite Mario Kart game has to be the DS version. I just see it's the perfect game, especially for a handheld device. It's just mind blowing. It had the perfect character roster too, including all the mains like Mario and Luigi and stuff, but as well as Rob. See, instead of sometimes less is more. Anyway, the graphics weren't bad for that time, and for handheld games as well. Apart from when you actually look at the faces. Yeah, they're not great, but just apart from that. The game is also quite bright and colourful. I also found it really cool that each character's got their own unique car. I hope they bring this back to Mario Kart 9. But the best part was when you completed the game, and therefore were able to mix up the characters and karts. You can make it quite funny, but it was just such a great time. Now this is one of the best controlling Mario Kart games ever. With snaking and drifting is so much easier and more fun. And if you master it, you can smash every race. That is why it's my favourite Mario Kart game of all time. And that is the end of today's video. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. It was really fun to look back at all these Mario Kart games. There's some really good ones out there. They're all quite underrated in my opinion. But yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, check out my Twitter and Patreon in the description, so I'm always active on there. Yeah, definitely go check it out. Comment below any other ideas for videos that you'd like to see. And yeah, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Oh.